Yo, what is happening, you guys? Welcome back to the channel. Apex Blue TLX here. Hope you guys are doing well. It's a beautiful day here in Los Angeles, California. Man, I'm ready for fall season, for some hoodie weather and some sweats. Gonna be looking like a bum 24/7, but honestly, I'll take it over this heat. So today I'll be making a video on the 30,000 mile update of my 2022 Acura TLX ASPEC. Yeah, I've had it for a year, put about 34,000 miles on it, which is kind of crazy. This is my current daily. I've taken on a couple road trips and I do go to the canyons every weekend. So racking up the miles relatively quickly, but honestly, I'm so happy with this car. It's been really reliable overall. Nothing wrong with it mechanically after a year in and 34,000 miles. However, there'll be some things I'll be talking about on the interior in terms of like some rattles and some sounds that I've been hearing that I haven't been able to fix, nor has a dealer, so we'll dive into that in a little bit. In terms of the exterior of the car, it's not PPF'd, so you guys will see up close, there are a bunch of rock chips and splatters on the front fascia, all over the bottom. Because of the canyons, they do tend to kick up rocks as I'm going up, so my entire bumper is pretty much covered in rock chips, which is quite unfortunate. I don't know if the camera will pick it up right now, unless you look very closely. But rock chips all over the front bumper as well as the hood, just here and there. So that is one thing that I really wish I did in the initial pickup of this car, was the PPF. Yeah, it is expensive, especially for a full car PPF, but I think it's really worth it if you are going to take care of this car and drive it for a long period of time. And if you are going to go to the canyons, obviously, it's a great investment overall. The paint has held up quite well, actually. I do clean my car quite often. The metallic pearl is still there and looks brand new, honestly. I do use quite a bit of detailer products to make this car look like new. This past weekend I went to Koreatown just for a quick dinner with some friends and did not see this massive curve on my driver's side and absolutely destroyed the edges of my front lip. This was honestly heartbreaking because as soon as I heard it, I got out of the car and I was like, oh no, how bad is it? Luckily it didn't crack or split, but it's pretty much splintered at the edge, and I'm thinking about replacing this front lip. It is quite a bit of a mission to replace this lip, taking off the bumper, and it's really easy with two people, but if I'm doing this myself, it might take a while. I've done it before and it was quite a bit of a journey to get to, so we'll see about that. My tires are the Michelin Pilot Sport 4 all seasons. There's a little bit of rubbing right here, but overall the normal tread pattern has been great. No issues so far. And the Acura TLX Type S Brembos have been holding up phenomenally. I do have the Type S pads as well, and the Race Brake Performance rotors. They've been doing extremely well under high heat and braking when in the canyons, so I'm really happy about those. No complaints so far. Those have been about 3 months as well, and there have been no issues. Highly recommend upgrading the brake system in the TLX. The side skirt that I put on about 2 months ago, it looks fantastic. However, because this car is lowered, I've been scraping the entire bottom side whenever I go into my driveway. That's been quite tragic because every time I pull in, I hear the scraping. It's just plastic at the bottom, so it's not too bad, but it is something that I have to think about every time I pull into the driveway. One thing I noticed about my emblems, they've been starting to, I guess, fade. There is a little bit of that black chrome that's fading compared to the rest of the chrome here. I don't know if that's from the products I was using to detail the car, but it's only on that one side. The overall badges have been looking great. I highly recommend you guys getting the black chrome badges over the normal chrome badges. They definitely look more aggressive for the rear fascia of the car. I do want to show you guys this. It was kind of funny. I went to the beach the other day and left my cigar on my spoiler. Didn't realize it, and it burned a little hole in my spoiler. I'm just being stupid. Like, come on, man. Get it together. Yeah, so I think that's about it for the exterior. Let's go ahead and hop into the interior. I do want to talk about some of the issues I've had in the interior. Number one being this infotainment system. So right now I have my phone plugged in already. The infotainment screen is going to boot up here.
Expand.
For a lot of the times when I'm using this vehicle and starting up for the first time in the morning, I'll plug in my iPhone and it just seems to not want to connect with the iPhone. I just got the iPhone 15 Pro Max with a USB-A to USB-C cable, and I thought it was an old phone issue because I had a XS Max before, so that phone was pretty old, and I upgraded to the 15 Pro Max, and for some reason it's still doing the connecting issue. I thought it was a cable issue at first, or the phone, but it seems to be an infotainment system issue, and just like that, you guys can tell it just crashed and it just disconnected. You guys saw that, right? Yeah, without even doing anything. So I don't know what the issue is. I've had the most recent software update as well, and I've looked on the forums as well, but there's been no really solution to this. I don't know if it's just a 2021 and 2022 year issue, but right now it's like not even responding to anything that I'm even doing on the touchpad, and it's just completely frozen. So yeah, that's been going on for quite a bit now. As you guys can hear, it's just freaking out, and it says it's not connected when the phone is clearly plugged in. So I don't know, it's really gimmicky at times, so I hope that Acura comes out with a software update or even a firmware update to help alleviate this situation, because it is annoying at times when I just want to plug in my phone and go, and especially because I use CarPlay as well for my maps. It's kind of frustrating that I can't get this to work. So that's issue number one with this interior of this car. Number two has been the rattle. So I call it the death rattle. I don't know what else to call it, but it's honestly been bugging me for a minute. It's coming from this area around the dash here, and essentially what it sounds like is tapping noise that happens randomly with driving. It doesn't even matter if it's like a rough road or a highway or a smooth road. Just whenever the car is moving, you'll hear a slight rattle coming from this area over here. And I've been trying to bang it. I've been trying to move things around. Obviously don't want to take apart the dash and the infotainment system because I think something is loose behind there. I've taken it to 4 different Acura dealers around Southern California, and no one has been able to fix it because the issue is not consistent enough in their opinion. So that's been super frustrating. Basically what I've done is like really hit this section really hard and bang it, and it'll seem to go away, but then it'll come back like a week later. So if you guys can get over the Apple CarPlay issue, and in my case, the rattle, overall this car is phenomenal. One last thing about the interior that I forgot to mention, the seats. So the seats have been holding up pretty well for a daily. These are extremely comfortable. They are heated and ventilated and 12-way adjustable. I have noticed some of this crumpling along the edges of the leather. I think this is a Milano leather offered by Acura, but I was kind of surprised to see it kind of crumple like this early on in the ownership. 34,000 miles and a year and a half old. I was surprised I was doing it this early. So just keep that in mind. I do put leather conditioner on my seats to keep it relatively clean. So it's been holding up pretty well, but just the edges have been something that I've taken notice lately. Like I said, mechanically, this car has been flawless. No issues whatsoever a year and a half in. With 34,000 miles, I don't think you'll be expecting any issues from a Honda product. And if you guys are thinking about getting a TLX, 100% recommend it. Just know it's not the fastest car in the segment. It's not meant to be, but it is a great daily, looks aggressive, and definitely unique on the road. And clearly, if you can mod it to your own taste, it can definitely look the part. When comparing this to the competition like an Audi A4, IS200, the Genesis GV70, this is definitely the underdog and the least common. So whenever I do pull up to car meets here in LA, it definitely does get a lot of attention and questions, which is dope, and I'm glad that I went with this option. I just wish I had the V6 and the Type S. Now, don't hate me when I say this, but a question that I've been thinking about for quite a bit now is, do I sell this car? And the reason why I say that is because I really want a TLX Type S. I've been getting some mixed feedback saying that this basically is a Type S without the engine and the all-wheel drive. Getting some hate on TikTok, but it's all good. It's all good. I'm making it my own. So I don't know. If I sell this car, I 100% would get the TLX Type S over the Integra Type S, just because as a daily, I do want that all-wheel drive, and I don't want to drive a manual in LA as a daily, even though the Integra Type S has been getting a lot of praise from the media and is just a thrill to drive because it is a front-wheel drive manual. But just for what I need and for the performance, I do want that TLX Type S. So if any of you guys are in LA or just anywhere in the US and are interested in 2022 TLX ASPEC, hit me up. Throw me some offers and we'll see what we can work with. All right, you guys, I think I'm gonna wrap up this video here. If you guys have any questions or comments, like always, leave in the section below. We're slowly getting to 1,000 subscribers, so hopefully we can run that count up by the end of the year. And I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.